Hey guys, it is Decades Day today, for Spirit Week, but this is why I'm dressed the way I am. But we're going to talk about words that connect ideas, and this is your warm up. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at the words here that are addition, cause and effect, comparison, and contrast. So when you do this activity for your warm up, you are going to use these words and phrases in the boxes next to addition words, cause and effect words, comparison words, and contrast words. So you're going to look at these words and figure out which one makes the most sense in those blanks, okay? Then what we are going to do, we are going to do some evidence citing for our lesson today, because I'm not really comfortable with what you guys have been showing me that you know. So we are going to do some evidence citing in your lesson today. All right. So here we go. Citing evidence to make inferences. Now, have you ever heard the story of Pinocchio, the wooden boy who came to life? Each time he lies, his nose grows. Later in the story, Pinocchio says that he has been to school, and zoink, his nose grows. Now, the author doesn't say at this particular point in the story that Pinocchio lied, but you can make an inference. So this is a vocabulary word. We talked about this. Inference, a conclusion based on what you already know and from text evidence. All right. So good inferences are supported with textual evidence. You can practice this now. So we're going to read this paragraph, and then we're going to do this little activity down here. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Whatever you are, be a good one." Easy for him to say. He was good at everything. It's nice advice, I guess. Still, you can say that you're going to be good at playing the piano. You can even say that you'll perform beautifully at a big recital. You can say that all you want, and you can still forget the notes to your song halfway through and run off the stage in tears. I wonder what Lincoln would have said about that. He probably wouldn't have felt as miserable as I do right now, in the very least. Now, the chart below states an inference about the narrator. Complete the chart by writing one or more phrases from the paragraph that would directly support the inference. Now, the inference is, what do we already know? Okay, so we're looking at the inference. Let's see. The narrator has just had a bad experience performing in a piano recital. That is what I got from reading this little short blurb. Now, what do I already know? I know that people sometimes feel bad when they are embarrassed. Well, how do I know that this person was embarrassed? Well, I could say that this person was embarrassed by understanding. You could say that all you want, and you can still forget the notes halfway through and run off the stage in tears. So I know that that particular part also refers to being embarrassed. All right, so the narrator says, still, you could say that all you want, going to be good at playing the piano. My second inference is, or my second evidence, I'm citing evidence. You could say that all you want, and you could still forget the notes to your song halfway through and run off the stage in tears. The narrator has just had a bad experience performing in a piano recital. Do all of these things connect? Ask yourself that. Do all of these things connect? Do they add up? They do, because you know that people feel bad when they're embarrassed. This is what the narrator is saying here and here, and I can infer the narrator has just had a bad experience performing in a piano recital, right? So when reading, always support your inferences with textual evidence. An unsupported inference won't make your nose grow an inch, but you won't be on your way to a better understanding of the story either. That's why we infer, guys. All right, so now we're going to do this together. We're going to read this story, and we're going to answer this question down here at the bottom, okay? So let's read this first part. Athena, Arachne, and the Weaving Contest by Sophia Lelos. Athena was a goddess of wisdom, was an exceptional weaver. She shared her knowledge with humans as long as they consistently showed her deepest gratitude, their deepest gratitude. Athena's most talented student was a young woman named Arachne. Each day, Athena and Arachne sold their creations at a country market, and everyone said Arachne's cloth was incredible. Her cloth was incredible. Athena overheard Arachne tell customers she taught herself to weave. Athena cringed as she listened to Arachne's lies. Then, on one fateful day, Arachne kept bragging to customers that she was the greatest weaver in the world and that her creations were more beautiful than all the others at the market. Now, let's take a look at this question. Now, we're going to explore how to answer this question together. How does Athena feel about Arachne's bragging? Make an inference about how Athena feels. Support your inference with 2 details from the text. Now, we're told to look for details from the text that hint at how Athena feels about Arachne. One detail is shown in the chart below. Write the second detail next to the second bullet point and then write your inference. So let's take a look at what the question is. So what we already know. We already know that someone who expects gratitude would likely be upset if she did not receive it. Who is not receiving the gratitude she deserves? Well, Athena, right? So we could do this as a restating of the question, like using the race theory, right? Instead of looking at this, we could do the race theory, which is restate the question, answer the question. All that is done in one sentence. Then we cite the evidence, and then we explain it, which is what your inferring is. That's your inference. Now, how does Athena feel about Arachne's bragging? Well, Athena feels that she should get what? She should get the gratitude from Arachne for teaching her how to weave, right? Which is basically what this says. Now, here is a detail from the text. She shared her knowledge with humans as long as they consistently showed their deepest gratitude. Well, where did I find it? I found it in the story. So let's take a look where it is. She shared her knowledge with humans as long as they consistently showed their deepest gratitude. Okay? Now, Athena's most talented student was a young woman named Arachne. Now, what other detail from the text do we know that upset Athena? Well, Athena overheard Arachne tell customers she taught herself to weave, and Athena cringed as she listened to Arachne's lies. So that would be a second bullet point, the detail from the text that tells us that Athena is angry or is feeling upset about the fact that this person, Arachne, is bragging. Now, the inference is my conclusion, my explanation, R-A-C-E, R-A-C-E, R-A, so we're answering and restating the question in one part. We're citing the evidence in the next part. And then our inference would be our explanation. This is where we explain what we think the quotes mean. So we can gather that Athena is angry because Arachne is taking all the credit for what she's done, right? So she is not giving credit where the credit is due. So let's read the rest of the story. An old woman in a cloak smiled and challenged Arachne to a weaving contest, which Arachne gladly accepted. The rules were simple. Each would weave one complete tapestry by nightfall. The customers would judge the winner. Throughout the day, the two sat at looms, weaving furiously. Just before sunset, they finished both tapestries. Both tapestries were marvelous to behold, but the crowd chose the old woman, for the creation was flawless. She says, "Spin and weave forever without my help, fool," the old woman suddenly said, and pointed one finger at Arachne and turned her into a spider. Now, let's take a look. Let's think of the correct answer. Which sentence best explains why Arachne turned into a spider? Is it A, the old woman had special powers? B, Arachne did not show her thanks to Athena? C, Athena was disguised as an old woman? D, like Arachne, spiders were good at weaving. Now look at the hint over here. The question asked why Arachne was turned into a spider, not how. So why was she turned into a spider? Well, it's B. Arachne did not show her thanks to Athena, correct? So that would be why she is in trouble. Now, I'm going to give you something to read, and it is posted in Schoology. I want you to read the story, The Fox Goes Fishing, and then I want you to underline and highlight the quotes from the story that show the character traits of the fox and the sled driver. Then I want you to fill out the chart about what you inferred and find the exact words from the story, your evidence, to explain your conclusion or to infer. Then I want you to take a look at how the setting affects the character of the fox. So that's what your instructions are for today. If you have any questions, please email me.